Hello, everyone. Happy Grateful Wednesday. Yes, this is another live naked show with Dr. Auda. And today I have a very, very special guest. Let me know if you're there. We are going live half an hour before because I got my time wrong. Oh, and there she is. Let me add her on. She's doing fantastic because this is going to be a terrific show. I know this woman is full of tips, of encouragement, of systems, of things that we all need to hear. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Any confusion?
There's an echo.
I have my live.
Do you have earphones? Maybe I should.
Yep. I do. Just
If you're there, bear with us. We're just getting the audio. Hopefully this is better. I still have an echo.
oh shoot. I'm gonna
Okay. Oh, better. Solved.
There you go.
Perfect. Now it's perfect. Well, hello, Dr. Barbara.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming on. I had the time wrong. So to
No
those
problem.
people that I advertised 1 o'clock, we're going half an hour early, but I know you are full of info. We're going to use this time as wisely as possible. So thank you so much for accepting this invite.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely, I know this is going to be naked, real, and raw. And for those people that don't know you, which I can assume who doesn't, but for those people, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us maybe something we don't know?
Sure. Well, number one, I'm blessed beyond measure. It is incredible. I read stories about what people have gone through in their life, whether childhood or as adults. And if ever there was a perfect childhood, I'm going to go on record for saying this girl had it. So I'm incredibly thankful to the Lord, to my parents, to being able to have an awesome family. So I grew up on a farm in a small little town in southeastern Michigan, and I grew up with 9 first cousins and a quarter of mile. So everyone around me was related, and it was just an incredible opportunity in life to receive love, to receive acceptance and direction, and my parents taught us to be tough. My mom would load us up and take us to the field so that we could spend time with my dad, because he worked really long hours as a farmer. And I got to see what does it really mean to bind together as a family, even as a woman, when it's inconvenient. But in order to bring your family together, you do whatever you got to do. And then I made some really dumb choices, as a young adult, and ended up going through divorce, and that was a horrible thing for my kids. But yet, man, we are so blessed, and I'm so thankful for all of the things that the three of us got to do together. And then God brought an amazing man into my life, into our life in 2009, and we got married, and he adopted my kids as adults. They were 18 and 20 when my husband adopted them. And
Wow.
it was so unusual. I had to write the briefs because it had to go to court and stuff. And it's so unusual that an adult would adopt adults, that I had to take the stuff from if you're a child getting adopted, and I had to make them into being adults. So maybe those are some things that people don't know.
Wow, I surely didn't know. And what made you want to move all the way to Alaska?
Hot guy.
I think that's something that. Well, that's an answer I can truly understand. We're speaking my language here on the Naked Show with Dr. Auda. And for those of you watching, please like us, post questions because I could read them, and ask her, and share with your friends because I know this woman is full of knowledge, and yes, it's full of laughter and a big heart. I definitely follow you, and I hear your things, and your tribe is just so amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about how that got started? Have you been in practice? That what made you develop this tribe? And all your women cheer up for you like you are a goddess. So I want to know where this all got started. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I graduated from Logan in 1997. I had a 1-year-old at the time, and I was pregnant. So that can probably fill you in a little bit on what I did in college. And I still would say that chiropractic college, like, I'm sorry for those that really struggled. I had a blast in chiropractic
me
college,
too.
and I thought it was tons of fun. Developed friendships that I'm still friends with. Actually, I got to see Brian Johnston this past weekend at CalJam, and he and I were at Logan together, so it was fun to yuck it up and remember old times. Um, and so when I graduated, we eventually moved back to Michigan, and I was married to a chiropractor at the time, and he was an associate, and I was home nursing babies. I mean, like, that's what it was, changing diapers and all of that, and enjoying the privilege of being home with my kids when they were little. And then a year later, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I went to school, and I want to get into practice, and I want to help people. But like a lot of individuals, I didn't know the first thing about growing a business. Like, I'd been raised to, like, be your own boss and, like, like, work hard and all of those kinds of things. But I didn't know how to set up systems for first visit, second visit, referral, testimonial, financial, internal marketing, external marketing. Like, I didn't know. And it seems like most individuals, when they graduate from chiro school, they don't know either.
We don't know.
I knew I had to go fast. I had 2 student loans. I had my own and my, at the time, husband's. My dad was willing to secure financing for us for our practice, and that weighed really heavy on my heart. I didn't want to disappoint him, and I wanted things to go well. So I hired my coach 5 months before I opened my practice. I didn't even know where, like, the space. I didn't have the space. I just knew I got to learn this stuff because I got to go fast. So opened my practice in December of 1998 in a town of 5,000 people, little tiny blue collar farming town in southeastern Michigan. So it's Christmas, it's winter time, all of the things that could
It's
go
cold.
against you. It's cold, it's dark, it's all of those things.
Yeah.
And I opened. And I was open for a couple of weeks, and then took a couple of weeks off because it was Christmas time, and it was our daughter's second Christmas, but she was only a year old and Samson was 3. And by God's grace, I applied what I learned, and I went 0 to 180 office visits a week in 89 days. And then I just kept growing from there. So I started coaching chiropractors. My coach at the time asked me if I wanted to help chiropractors, and I was like, sure. I mean, I don't know what that is. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
Oh, what happened?
Just 1 second. I'm not sure. Oh, just a second.
Yeah. This happens a lot. It's okay. This is life. And we know how to roll with the punches and whatever glitches come in our technology. I'm sure you can hear a huge echo because that's what I can hear. I cannot even hear my voice. But thank you guys for watching, for commenting. I love the comments that she made. Let's see, somebody made Janine. Her transparency and passion to share is what makes us call you a goddess, definitely. And Roberto, we love and appreciate you. So thank you so much. He's watching. Hello, hello, wherever you're at. Hi, everyone. Keep posting questions and comments because we will get there eventually.
There you go.
Yes. And yes, very few graduate schools teach you how to set up a small. Just on what you were saying, I just did an interview today for a podcast like an hour ago, and they asked me, what would you change about if you could go back in time, and what would you change? And I said, oh my God, I would have told my young self that I really didn't know anything, to not be so cocky, and I would have kind of coached right away to help me with systems before I sold my house, put it all on a practice, and literally stayed homeless.
Yeah.
So yes, I would have done that. So thank you for sharing that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I could hear you.
Yeah, I think the story with that is, like, we just have to be honest with ourselves and go, all right, so at some point, I'm going to have to learn how to run a successful business. Like, that isn't a choice that you get to make. If you're going to stay in business and be able to help people and fulfill your mission and passion, you're going to have to learn how to do this thing called business, right? So there's being the doctor and there's being the business person, and you are one and the same. It's not like, like everything is holographic, right? So you're a mom at the same time that you're a sister and you're a daughter and you're a friend and you're a chiropractor and you're a businesswoman and you're a leader in your community. You're all of those things at one time. The cool thing is being successful in each of those roles has similar characteristics. So if you want to teach your kids to be independent, like I'm incredibly proud of my children. I was just saying to my counselor last night that our son is 23, graduated from Moody Bible Institute in May. He put himself through school, paid for his entire own way, graduated with no debt, no credit card debt, no student loan. We paid for obviously his health insurance and paid for his cell phone. He paid for everything else on his own, got married in July, paid off his wife's student loan, and they're both in their early 20s, have their undergraduate degrees, wow, and they're debt free. Yeah, exactly. And our daughter has been on her own since she was 17. And so I'm extremely passionate about teaching women to be independent themselves, to be financially independent, right? And financially independent doesn't mean I don't have any debt. Like that's a scarcity mentality, really. It means that you are leveraging your resources and leveraging your money to always be growing with you. Not necessarily like the scarcity mentality just means like hoarding. And if you can't live a great lifestyle while you're doing this, what's the point? Right? And so exactly, raising those people up around you to also take care of themselves is what I feel is our responsibility. That includes the little children who live in your home. That includes the people in your community, is teaching them how to be independent in their health, in their thinking, and in their finances.
I just love that. Obviously, that resonates with how I want to live my life and how I want to lead my children, for sure. They are 15 and 17, and a lot of people see how I lead and what they do, and they're like, "Oh, you're slave driver." I'm like, "What slave driver? I'm teaching them to be adults. I'm teaching them to be good humans, yes, in this world that we need." Yes, they do their laundry. Yes, they do grocery shopping. Yes, they cook. Yes, they clean. Yes, they are responsible for their school because I'm not in school. They are.
Right.
And yes, they're responsible for good grades, not because I give them money, it's just because it's what is
right.
It's what it's supposed
right.
to be. And yes, they are good kids, and they have to help me humanitarian wise, everything, because that's what we're supposed to do. I don't know when it became that is, that so many people say, "Oh, you're slave driver with your children." It's like, that's what we do as parents. And I love that you do that with your tribe. So turn it around, because Amanda sent me a great question. And she said, how do you help the women in your tribe to get that passion out of their core, to get the greatness out of them in order to shine and to be able to take responsibility for their life choices, but shine in the process as they're living their best life?
Yeah. It's interesting. Roberto Monaco, who owns the, Influenceology and the Cairo Speaking Company, is one of the coaches in the boot camp. He's week 17 and teaches public speaking and persuasion and influence. And so he is also my personal public speaking coach. And we were just working on my talk for the Berkshires, which the Berkshires are coming up in a couple of weeks. If you're not registered yet, go to tickevent.com, and love to see you there. It's an amazing experience. And thanks to Dr. Scott Garber for putting that together. I'm super excited to be a part of it. This is the 10th year anniversary. And one of the things I'm talking about is how do you build up a tribe, right? So there's two different things. There's create a movement and there's build a tribe. So the first thing you have to do is it's not about you, right? So one thing that I find is really difficult for a lot of individuals in practice is they're going to their practice to get their personal needs met, right? So then what happens is you show up in your practice needy. The need to be right, the need to be liked, the need to be loved, the need to be respected, the need to be heard. You have to get those personal needs met outside of your office, or else when you come to the table, you're needy, which is a low vibrational frequency. So then your practice members are actually coming into your office and they have to donate energy to you, because quantum physics says that we have to vibrate at equal frequency. So if you come into my presence, I promise you, I'm going to donate energy to you because I vibrate at a very high level, right? So then that means that I have to come down a little bit and you come up, right? So in practice, if your practice members are coming in up here and you're down here because you're not taking personal responsibility to get your needs met outside your practice, now they're donating energy to you to come up so you guys are at an equal level. So what happens is over time, people start leaving and the doctor's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not doing anything different, but my practice is suffering. It's because you're trying to get your personal needs met inside your office, right? So making yourself right and others wrong is a scarcity mentality, right? So that means that somebody has to lose. Like if I win, somebody has to lose. It's not that way. We can both win. We can all win together. And that's really the culture that's created within the boot camp. Like they're boot campers who practice a mile from each other and they're still sharing their marketing with one another, still helping one another out. They're still cheering one another on because let's face it, we serve less than 2% of the population. Exactly. So we can all win together. So that's really the vibrational frequency in the boot camp is that we're in this together and we can all win together and we're all on an individual journey. There aren't two practices in the boot camp that look alike because there aren't two doctors who look alike. And so instead it's all about who are you at the core? What is your message? How do you want to deliver that message? How do you want to package it? What hours do you want to work? I don't care if you work 2 hours a week or you work 80, let's make sure that you're productive and profitable and that you do your work at work so you can go home and have an amazing life with your family. That the gerbil isn't just like going nonstop, which means then you're not present time conscious for your family. That's not okay.
The gerbil. Oh, I could relate to the gerbil. Yeah. I've had the gerbil. I think he lives somewhere and I try to kill it almost every day. But yes, that gerbil. I love what you said because indeed together we rise. This is one of the reasons I do this Naked Talk is because I feel it's my responsibility to use whatever platform God gave me to uplift each other because indeed that is the same purpose I have in life to make this world a better place. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing your part, I'm doing my part, everybody's doing their part, we're all going in the same direction, even if we're all different because indeed, there's no two practices going to be alike because there's no two auras, there's no two Barbaras. And everybody's going to make whatever they love and just shine in their own light. Mm-hmm. And I see how you bring out that in people. What is the first thing that you would, work with when a person joins your boot camp? Or what is the one tip that you can give? We know that we have to get the mindset straight and we have to get our purpose and our journey. What is it that we want before we get there? But what is the one thing that you use?
Yeah, so the boot camp has 25 different topics and each week has at least 7 trainings up to 30 trainings, depending on the topic. There are 18 different content coaches because here's the deal. I'm not an expert in everything, but you can be damn sure I'm going to get my tribe expert status and whatever they need to learn, whether it's social media. That's why Dr. Matthew Loop, who's the leading social media revenue strategist in North America, he teaches week 9 because I want you to learn the best thing, not everything that you need to know for social media, but what are those like go-to tools that you run day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And so the boot camp is about what is the very best for your practice, not what's everything I can do, but what's the very best. And so it starts with mindset, but here's the deal. I so often think that people see mindset is check it off the list. Like I worked on my mindset a couple years ago. I'm good. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Daily.
You're not the
daily.
Yeah, you're not the same. If you're the same person today that you were last year, there's a problem with that, right? Like we're always changing and what you see today and how you see it, I pray it's different than how you see it tomorrow. I pray that you have grown from today to tomorrow and that you're a different person today than you were yesterday, right? That's our commitment to innate to potential. That's our commitment to greatness is that every single day I can learn, every single day I can expand, every single day I can grow. And so that mindset then is going to be different as you approach different topics. And so you can revisit the week 1 mindset on a regular basis in order to check in with yourself. And so I have to give credit to Dr. Jeff Cartwright, who is a great friend of mine, who taught me, like it's a combination of Dr. Fleet, who was a chiropractor in the 30s, as well as Wallace Wattles of The Science of Getting Rich, and then Jeff Cartwright in mine. Yep. It's kind of all together. And it really looks at, Dr. Fleet gave us the first model concept therapy of how do we take this idea of, okay, I conceptually know that my thoughts become a reality, but how does that really work? Right? Like, we all know that, but like, can you really put it into a model? And so that's what the boot camp starts with, is that model. So you can take your predominant thoughts and put them through a model and figure out in this model, that's why I'm getting these results. I want these results. So this is what I have to change to get these results. And that's why you see boot campers doing amazing things. Like Dr. Tiffany Russell generated an extra $40,000 last year. Robin Hale, an extra $76,000. Kirsten Freiberg, an extra $100,000. I did an extra $500,000. All of us in 1 year. How? Well, it's the mindset. And then when you change the mindset and you have the structures and the systems, you run those systems, you have a team, and amazing abundance is available. But it first starts with owning your thoughts, right? Like with your thoughts, you can decide, is it an emotion or is it a fact? If it's an emotion, do I want to be led by it? Or is it a fact? In which case, what do I do with it?
Exactly. And can I do something right now with it? Or I'm just going to stress about it for no reason.
Yes.
Right. Because we can do something. The past is gone. The future we can't predict. We're not psychic. So we can only do what we're doing right now. I love the whole boot camp thing. And I know you have to go very, very soon to another call. So how can people join? Is it a one-on-one coaching that they're going to get eventually with you? Or is it just a weekly system? It's like a university kind of a thing that they're going to join, and then people uplift each other in the group. Can you tell us a little bit, if anybody, because I guess I'm asking even for myself, because I've always loved what you're doing. I've said, how does she work it? How does she deal with so many women, right? How does she do it? So I'm asking, and I always ask whatever other people is. I think that your results are amazing. Your energy is super vibrant. I met you at Taro Sushi, and I think it's just, and hello to everybody that's there. Thank you for watching. So can you tell us a little bit of what to expect if we do join? Because if I join, I want to hug you, and I just want you to take care of me.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I have to jump on right after this is every single Wednesday, I do a live group coaching call for the entire tribe. So it's not one of those things where you join a tribe and then you never see the creators. Like, honestly, you're probably going to get sick of me if you join the boot camp, because I'm always there. I do a scheduled live call every single Wednesday. And what it is I first answer questions. If those questions take 45 minutes, they take 45 minutes. But every boot camper has access to me just like this, face-to-face video conference via Zoom every single week. Then there's also a private Facebook group. So all of you have probably seen there's just over 300 of us. And in the last 28 days, we had over 14,400 posts and comments. And the reason that is that we help each other. There's like the boot campers themselves created a Dropbox, and everybody puts their referral gift packets, their marketing, their forms, their manuals, everybody just like pours into it, and you can use it as much or as little as you want. It really is a collaboration of brilliant minds from all across the world. And so I'm in there, like even this week, somebody Facebook messaged me in the boot camp a question, and I felt like the answer to that would be good for the whole tribe. So I just did a Facebook Live to the tribe, and then everybody got the answer, right? And so that's what is just so powerful about the tribe, is that we're all in it together. And I don't claim to have the answers, but if I don't know an answer, I promise you, I will get an expert answer for you. And then, yes, then there is an on-demand university, which has over 400 video trainings, and new content is added every single week. Remember, all of you too, like I just started this in April of 2017. So even though I've been coaching chiropractors for 20 years, I just started the boot camp in 2017. And so it's not recycled content from the 90s or the early 2000s. It's all been created in the last 2 years, less than 2 years. And so the best way, you have to talk to me you can't click and join, you got to talk to Mama Boot Camp. And I take copious notes. I get to know you to make sure we're a fit. Like it's not a fit for everybody. Like if you're somebody who just wants to hum along and stay the same and feel like the comfort zone is home to you, I can promise you, you're probably not boot camp material. But if instead you're like, you know what, Dr. Barb, I know I've got potential. Like I know I got a little more throttle there. Then let's talk and let's like, I'm telling you what, the thing that leads to burnout is not hard work. The thing that leads to burnout in anyone's life is barely doing what you know is possible and getting that kind of a result, right? It could even mean you're working 80 hours a week, but if you're getting crappy results, that's what will burn you out. It's just that whole coasting thing, because, you know, it's kind of like if you're swimming, if you're just coasting and you stop, what happens? You sink. Right? So, and momentum is this powerful drug that will just keep moving you forward and keep moving you forward. And you know what the boot camp makes it possible to see is that I'm not in it alone. Like there are other women from all over this planet who have similar struggles to me, who have similar thoughts than I do, who want to do similar things. And now we get to do it together. Because that's how women are. Like we're tribe people. Like that's, you know, like we'd rather be at the top of the mountain together than up on the top beating our chest, right? And so it's about building badass female chiropractors who are instinctively successful, who know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and want to see others doing the same.
Wow. Well, that was amazing. I'm telling you, I think I do want to be part of the book. I want to. I want it. You sold me. I don't know about the audience, but you sold me.
Awesome.
So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your passion, your energy, for uplifting this profession, for raising the bar for us women, for helping to unify us. So we indeed, you know, I think you have been such a great example because we rise together. We don't need to criticize each other. We're all in this together. And we all shine in different areas. And thank you so much for sharing your love and passion. How can people reach you so they can join also? Because I want to join. Roberto's there. You're there. Oh my God, please don't leave the girl out.
Right. So you go to 56daychirobootcamp.com/apply. I'm going to ask you questions right off the bat about your practice, about your life, what you want. And then after that, you schedule a call with me. We'll get on the phone. And, you know, like we might as well start with the truth because we're always going to end with it. I'll be completely honest with you when we're on the phone, and you'll be completely honest with me. And then we go from there. And if I'm 100% confident I can help you, I'll tell you exactly what that looks like. I do a report of findings for everybody who joins the boot camp, and I walk you individually through the boot camp because nobody's journey is like somebody else's. And so it may mean that, you know, at first you really need to start with helping you and your team overcome objections. Like, man, Dr. Barb, like we get objections about time and money and all of this stuff all the time, and we don't know how to handle it. Well, I have a whole week of training for you, of role playing for you that will help. Let's say you've bought into this lie that I don't want to be a salesperson. Okay, let me just like stop you right there, because not one penny in any business at any time in this world has ever been made in any business without a sale. The very fact that you're in a relationship with somebody, you sold them on you and they sold you on them. So love sales. I'm going to teach you how to do them well and do them with integrity, right? Like I think it's criminal to co-sign with somebody else on the delusion that they'll be fine if they do nothing. And that's what happens in a report of findings or when you're in a financial consultation. If you haven't worked through your own financial subluxations, then your subluxations rob somebody else of getting the care that they need, because your vibrational frequency changes when you go to present money. And don't think that, oh, well, my CA does it, so it doesn't have to do with me. That's not true. Your energy is the one that runs the show. So if you have money issues, which it's fine, we all do at some point in time. But please don't allow those to rob you and your family of opportunities or your community of the health that they desperately crave. So 56daychirobootcamp.com/apply. You can also find me on Facebook, obviously. If you send, I promise you, if you reach out to me, I'll reach back. But I'm not going to come find you, but reach out to me. I will reach back always. Hey, Ora, thank you
Woo,
so
woo.
much for having me. I do have to jump. I love and appreciate you.
I
Keep
know,
up
I
the
know.
great work. And thank you so much for having me on your show and other members of my tribe. We really appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you at least at Kaira Sushi, but perhaps before.
Perhaps before, for sure. I want to be part of the camp. So you guys got to let me in.
All right, we will.
Love and appreciate you.
I
Thank you for what you do.
thank you. You
Bye,
too. Bye bye.
everyone.